Hey, what's up, everybody? The V Club here. Let's ride the Villain Club. I know, because sometimes I may say things that may not be liked, but then again, I might say things that may be liked. And that's the perspective that I bring on this channel. I talk about anything and everything, and nothing's off the table. It's unscripted, everything, unscrupulous, unadulterated. All right, because all we got to do is just, tell it like it is. And I like to tell things like it is. I don't like to, fluff and cookie cut stuff. So, I guess without further ado, I think we should just get right to it, all right? So there's like a lot of this talk over the last couple of days about the Madison Square Garden, Trump, right? The turnout of what happened there in terms of huge turnout, max crowd, and no protest, right? That's the common theme with Democrats and any sort of, people within the Democrats is a lot of protesting, a lot of, in a sense, riots, right? When you look at things like BLM, Antifa, the university protesters, those are all Democrat based, right? Conservatives don't really protest like that, you know what I'm saying? And so if you protest, I mean, you could just protest without being violent or smashing windows and robbing things, and that's the Democrat way. But anyhow, that's not the point of this. Let's just get to this whole thing going on here at Madison Square Garden. Before we get into the comedian, because I was trying to hear what the comedian has said. I know that's so-called controversial, all right? So before we do that, I wanted to take a look at a couple things here, right? I just wanted to take a look at the Madison Square Garden turnout, and also what's Kamala been doing on the other side of things here. So let's see here. Madison Square Garden highlights. I'm not looking to go real huge. I just want to just kind of just see what's up here in terms of something. I just want something real short here. I just want to just. All right, here. This is the thing about MSNBC, CNN, and all that. They talk about how it's a pro-Nazi rally. They're all calling it a Nazi rally, and it's like, really. Was Donald Trump's Madison Square Garden rally an evocation of Nazism, right? So we'll look at Sky News, all right, because at least they're impartial and common sense.
How you doing? I got one of those.
Yeah, one sec.
So let's take a look.
Of all the venues in all New York, he walks into this one. 9 days and counting before the election, Donald Trump chose the historic Madison Square Garden, where history can't hide the hosting of a Nazi rally in 1939. At that time, it was a gathering of American Nazi sympathizers. At this time, Trump's opponents are drawing a parallel between the past and present.
Can you let me answer the question?
Ahead of the rally, Trump supporters rallied round.
Donald Trump is the furthest from a fascist.
Former mayor of New York right
there. You
there.
know who's a fascist?
Not according to his close aides.
Rudy
Mr.
Giuliani.
Not according to the leftist, socialist, communist media.
His former senior military advisor.
His former
His
senior
chief of staff.
military advisor is well known to me. He was fired.
That's because opponents are dumb and they're losing, so now they're trying to do anything to get a rise out of voters, man. Stop that. Be better.
So if you see black people, Asians, Latinos at this event, how is it a pro-Nazi rally? Because Nazism has nothing to do with any other race except for white people, right? The perfect white, blonde, blue eyes, that kind of thing, right? And how does this even showcase that at all?
This was a set piece to bring scale and stature to the campaign close.
Look at
It was
this.
a Trump-themed variety show with 25 speakers on the bill. Some had a harder edge than others.
I go, sure. Out of character for me to speak at a Nazi rally. I was just in Israel, but I took the gig.
but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah, I think it's called Puerto Rico.
We might have seen the makeup of a second Trump administration. Billionaire Elon Musk was part of the warm-up.
The future is gonna be amazing!
The story told by the headliner was of his opponent.
To make her president would be a gamble with the lives of millions and millions of people. She would get us into World War III. We're very close to World War III.
For all the discussion about the location, there's a certainty in Trump's team that any controversy will blow over. Their candidate, after all, has the baggage of sexual abuse, business fraud, a criminal conviction. There was a time when any one of these things would have been terminal to a political career. But look at this.
They're comparing him to Hitler, who killed millions and millions of innocent people, sent them to ovens and burnt them. I mean, this is a disgrace.
That's preposterous and ridiculous. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's desperate, though, when you have Democrats calling this a Nazi rally and all that. It's just desperate because they've insulted him enough. They've degraded him. They try to, throw everything at him to get him to go away, right? Go to jail, to go away, to give up at everything they've thrown at him. And that, to me, really shows how much of a patriot he is, right? That how much he really cares about America, because he's rich. He's a billionaire, right? Why would he want to go through all this trouble to run a country, right? When he could just be chilling with his $1 billion+ right? Just chilling. Why go through all this? Nearly assassinated twice, and then still doing all this, right? Because he's against the machine, the deep state. And this right here, to me, obviously shows that he wants to make America great again, right? And I don't see anything wrong with that. I just think that we need to get the country back to the way it was and not the way it is right now, because it's so bad. So do you see evidence of a Nazi rally here?
The main attraction at the Garden left, ambition achieved. A lifetime first for Donald Trump as he bids for the lifetime second. James Matthews, Sky News in New York.
I don't know. I don't see a Nazi rally at all for me here. So what I wanted to see is now this comedian, Tony Hinchcliffe. I'm kind of curious to see what was said or what. So I know he talked about the floating island. It's called Puerto Rico. But when it comes to comedians, right, and, whether it's roasting or just comedian speak, right, a lot of times, a lot of things that they say is truth, but just said it in a way that may sound insulting. But how about this? All right, because, it is freedom of speech, right, that Democrats always decry on is freedom of speech. But yet, when someone says something that sounds, I guess you could say controversial, but then it's out of context, then to me, they cry, right? They cry when anything, right? Oh, it's racist. Oh, it's sexist. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Don't they whine and complain about every little thing? And that's why America's so soft right now. They're soft on crime. They're soft in politics. They're soft on everything, right? And Democrats paved the way for softness. Like, you can't say words. It's comedians. Comedians do things to dig under the skin because that's what it is. It's just for laughs. But at the end of the day, some of it is factual, right? Do you know the story of Puerto Rico? Why it's considered what was said? Well, because they really have a trash problem. Well, let's just take a look at what he said, all right? And that way we could see proper context, right? Because a lot of times what Democrats do is they only take a line or a couple lines, but they don't really see the full scale of whatever it is that they take it from before they say something, right? They only take a piece of what it is and run with it. All right. So let's take a look here. I got to see what it is said here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage comedian, roaster, and host of the Kill Tony podcast, Tony Hinchcliffe.
And think about this, though, all right? Because comedians these days, like, they can't even do what it is that they do anymore, which is comedy acts anymore, because it's too insulting. Oh, it's too this, too that. It's like, when did America get so soft on words, right? If you don't like it, you don't watch it, right? You don't watch the shows. You don't watch the comedian. You just go away, right? So let's take a look. I've honestly never heard his stuff before. I don't even know. I don't think I've ever seen any of his acts before. So, aside from the news footage about talking about some of the lines he said, I've never really heard his comedy acts before.
We still riding swangers and put diamonds in our necklace. Pour drink inside my lemonade till it look like a Pepsi. See, I come from the D where we got checks and we be flexing. If you ain't from my
I do like the song, though.
Madison Square Garden, how we feeling, huh?
I do like the song, though. It's a cool song.
Wow, isn't this special? 17 years ago, I was sleeping in my car behind the Comedy Store in LA, and I'm proud to say this is my 4th time performing at Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in the damn world. The American dream, alive and well, right here. This is very different than where I'm used to performing, though. I'm used to nighttime with people drinking, not so many babies in the crowd, and people that are obviously only here for Lee Greenwood tonight. Normally, I don't make my political beliefs a known thing. It's divisive for a comedian to do that, but just know I sleep well at night knowing who I'm voting for. Yeah. When I lay down and my head hits my pillow, it is a fantastic pillow, by the way. I was staying at the Four Seasons up by Central Park one night, and I laid my head down, and it felt so good, and I thought to myself, what an amazing pillow. I have a little bit of money now. I could buy a good pillow. And I took the pillowcase off, and there it was. My pillow, my pillow, my pillow. And damn it, I bought 4 of them. And if you use the promo code KILLTONY, you can also buy 4 My Pillows. There's serious stuff happening, people. I live in the great state of Texas now. 18 years in Ohio, 20 years in California, and I got to see California turn to absolute horrendous thing. And traveling the world, I got to see San Francisco turn into one of the most demented cities, one of the greatest downfalls I've ever seen. And that is where the other candidate worked for 2 decades. And it's absolutely wild to see. And in Texas, stuff is really, really crazy. We're right there by a wide open border. Where are my proud Latinos at tonight?
I mean, yeah, San Francisco is trash, all right? And believe me, I went to school there. I used to love the city. I still like the Niners. I still like the San Francisco Giants. But, man, San Francisco's trash.
You guys see what I mean? It's wide open. There's so many of them. It's absolutely incredible.
Oh, sorry,
Believe
I cut
it or
that
not,
off.
people, I welcome migrants.
Here, let me get back. I cut off his joke there. So
wide open border. Where am I? One of the greatest downfalls I've ever seen, and that is where the other candidate worked for 2 decades. And it's absolutely wild to see. And in Texas, stuff is really, really crazy. We're right there by a wide open border. Where are my proud Latinos at tonight? You guys see what I mean? It's wide open. There's so many of them. It's absolutely incredible. Believe it or not, people, I welcome migrants to the United States of America with open arms. And by open arms, I mean like this. It's wild. And these Latinos, they love making babies, too. Just know that. They do.
It's fact.
They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country.
Yeah, I mean.
Republicans are the party with a good sense of humor. Free speech.
I mean, come on. Free speech, sense of humor, all right? Come on. Thick skin, all right? Just words. It's just words. It's just jokes. All right? That's what I'm talking about. The Democrats are just a bunch of whining crybabies. It's just jokes.
Speech is under attack, people. I host a show, and each week I get updates what words we're allowed to use and not use anymore. It's happening right now the past few years. It's a real thing.
That's sad.
And, used to be able to tell people to Google stuff. My mom's a boomer in the state of Ohio, and there's no convincing her of anything. She's eating the cats. She's eating the dogs. They're eating the pets up there. It is absolutely wild times. It really, really is. And, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there. Now, again, normally I don't follow the national anthem, everybody. This isn't exactly a perfect comedy setup. There's some people here. All right. Very good. I like it. I have other policies that I think it should be implemented as well. All
right, so if you guys see, this is the thing. Sometimes what things are brought to light is not really said until it's brought to light, such as in comedy acts, for example, right? I mean, what he alluded to, it's all been facts, right? San Francisco's trash. The border's wide open. And I mean, you can say what you want to say about pulling out and all that stuff. I pull out too. I mean, that's just me. What else is there? Oh, Puerto Rico. All right. So what's going on is that in Puerto Rico, if you don't know, because a lot of us didn't know, I didn't know either until I researched it, that Puerto Rico is an island, right? Tropical island off the East Coast. And they have a trash problem, all right? Because, well, it's an island. And if you live there, they accumulate trash. But the problem is they're running out of space. There's no place to put the trash. They got to haul it out of there. So they have a trash problem. And so that's what he was referring to as to why he said it's a floating pile of trash right now. Because there's a trash problem in Puerto Rico, and that's a fact. All right? And it didn't reference to Puerto Ricans directly that Puerto Ricans are trash. He said the island is a floating island of trash right now. So I don't know how you could draw that out of context, but Democrats, par for the course, like to pull things out of context.
Me personally, I think football should be all year round. Yeah. So many great athletes. I don't know about you guys, but I think that Travis Kelce might be the next O.J. Simpson.
Ooh. What are you trying to say there? I don't know what he's trying to say there.
Feels good in here. The other side's got a lot of crazy endorsements. Swift, Eminem, Leo DiCaprio, Beyonce. Every day the Democratic Party looks more and more like a P. Diddy party. Okay. Okay, that's what you guys want. All right. Heck yeah. It's cool. Black guy with a thing on his head. What the hell is that? A lampshade? Look at this guy. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm just kidding. That's one of my buddies. He had a Halloween party last night. We had fun. We carved watermelons together. It was awesome. You guys are... This is a groany little morning crowd, huh? It's tough to follow this audition for the next Commissioner Gordon's over here. It is, though. It's crazy times we're living in. I mean, all these pointless wars. It is unbelievable what's happening right now. It is incredible. Ukraine versus Russia, Israel, it's like bad soccer games. Who even cares? What are we doing? Why is our money involved in these wars?
Yeah. Why? Fact, right? Fact.
When it comes to Israel and Palestine, we're all thinking the same thing. Settle your stuff already. Best out of 3. Rock, paper, scissors. You know the Palestinians are going to throw rock every time.
Oh,
But you also know the Jews have a hard time throwing that paper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, we're having fun now. We're cooking.
It's definitely cooking.
Hillary Clinton said that this is a Nazi rally here today.
Come on, does it look like a Nazi rally?
Can you believe that? For the most anti-war president of my entire lifetime, and she calls him Hitler. Let me remind you, Hillary, it was your husband who shot innocent people, or as he called them, interns. Yeah, Hillary, I bet you did not see that one coming. By the way, if I commit suicide in 3 weeks, I didn't.
Oh. That's right.
I mean, it's just obvious to me who the right candidate is. There's a guy out here dodging bullets. It is unbelievable, right?
All facts. This is all facts.
He
Words.
took it right in the ear. Unbelievable. I thought about this. I don't know if you have. Coolest place to get shot. Like if you're gonna get shot anywhere on your body, that's where you want it. Right there. Technically, he got shot in the head, depending on if you're a Democrat or a Republican. Right? If you're a Democrat, his ear was grazed. If you're a Republican, he survived a headshot. It is. It's the best place to get shot. It's the only part of the human body will drive a piercing through like a little girl's ear for no reason. Right? There's just no... It heals fast. Nobody cares. It's the best place to get shot. He went down, saw blood on his hands. I'd imagine he thought right then, I think I just won this shit. Stands up and says the most American words I've ever heard in my life. No. Before that, there was one more. Let me get my shoes. Fearless. Perhaps still with an active shooter. He's talking like a guy that just had the best one-night stand of his life. Right? Like, where's my shoes at? I gotta get the hell out of here. Let me get my shoes. And then the fight. What he did was so cool that Biden got COVID. Oh, yeah. Go back. Look at the timeline of everything.
Yeah, that's true.
3 days after that. That means that Biden, he didn't get that from hanging out with sick people. He was in a sterile room in the White House watching blood running down Trump's face as he pumps his fist. Biden's like, oh, fuck. Oh, God, no.
Oh, man. That's true, though. I remember Biden got sick from COVID, and, you know, this is true. And when he stood up with blood on his face and yelling out, fight, 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 it inspired a lot of people. And, it, you know, people like, notably, Zuckerberg, right, of Facebook, Meta, he was literally, you know, like, he just became a new supporter of Trump because of that moment. it lit a fire in Zuckerberg at that moment. Like, wow, that was so crazy inspiring to see. To someone get up from nearly getting shot in the head to put out fight, fight, fight. Zuckerberg's words was, that was badass. And he couldn't believe that. But that really, and it really resonated with a lot of people, you know, that the times that we're in right now, and to have someone stand up like that, that's really something special.
It's true. Trump survived an assassination attempt, and Biden got COVID. We vote next week. God voted 3 months ago.
Interesting line.
Another great Austin, Texas resident, Elon Musk, will be speaking here later today. Unbelievable. Genius. You guys saw him shoot that rocket into outer space, the largest aircraft ever, fires it off in this space, and then parallel parks it back to planet Earth. Meanwhile, Kamala supporters can't parallel park their Toyota Priuses properly. Sorry, I listen to Elon Musk. I follow his lead. The world's smartest, richest man has my attention. Except for when it comes to stock trading, then I listen to Nancy Pelosi.
Ooh. Why does he say that? Stock trading, Nancy Pelosi, right?
But censorship is amongst us, people.
All right, so if you guys don't know the story of Nancy Pelosi, there's been talk of insider trading, all right, that she's been accused of, and I think a matter of fact, no one's really saying anything about it. Why? Because is it because she's in the deep state, right? She's part of the machine deep state. Oh, no, you know, she's off limits, right? But it's no secret that she should be arrested and thrown in jail for insider trading because she's been getting rich from that, and yet nothing's going on with that, right? Isn't that fishy how that is?
It's a very, very, very big deal, and I'm just here to say that you guys are for the right candidate. Tell your friends. Let's close it out, and let's make speech free again, make America healthy again. Let's beat the team from California. The team from New York should beat the team from California, not only in this election, but in the World Series of Baseball, America's sport. I love you, New York. God bless New York. God bless America. Let's make it great again. I love you. Thank you.
All right, one more. I just want to play one more right here real quick. I just want to see what J.D. Vance says about Kamala here. Makes the crowd laugh. One quick clip here. I just want to know what he said here.
Softball still, and that's the problem with Kamala Harris, is I don't think that she could hit a T-ball based on what we've seen over the last couple of weeks. When she was asked what she would do differently compared to Joe Biden, she said, "Nothing comes to mind." She's running on how she's going to be different, but she couldn't name a single thing that she would do differently than Joe Biden. Now, I will say that could be the Kamala Harris official campaign slogan. Kamala Harris, nothing comes to mind.
It's a good one. J.D. Vance is witty, though.
Now, the other day, CNN asked if she had made any mistakes as vice president. Now, here's what she actually said, and I am quoting word for word. She said, "In my role as vice president, I mean, I've probably worked very hard at making sure that I am well versed on issues, and I think that is very important." It's a mistake not to be well-versed on an issue and feel compelled to answer a question. Now, I have no idea what any of that means, and frankly, neither do any of you. None of us know what the hell she says. Now, she may not be able to name any of her mistakes, but the American people sure can.
Shit, we could see what she did. But anyhow, that's what happened at the rally here. You tell me, was that a Nazi rally here, a Nazi gathering? It doesn't look like it to me. All right, so a couple things that have gone on since during that, for example, rather than Kamala showing up to do a Joe Rogan podcast, which is watched one of the top podcasts in the world, she goes on to Shannon Sharp here, former football player's podcast, and I think she wanted to go to a pandering softball podcast rather than go to a real podcast where you can be asked questions. You may be held, put your feet to the fire, but at the same time, it's something that they should be trying to reach out to as large of an audience that Joe Rogan has, right? And especially if she's trying to reach out to men, that's something that you don't take a pass on. You would embrace that opportunity, right? To showcase who you are and what you're about, and to really go on your mission of trying to get men on your side, rather than having the likes of someone like Michelle Obama insulting men, or Obama insulting black men, trying to say that either you're sexist or you're not truly who you are if you're voting for Trump and not voting for Kamala type of shit, right? That's just a bunch of bullshit. And her to go on Shannon Sharp's Pandercast, right? It made me lose respect for Shannon Sharp, because he was very good and outspoken as a football player and as football analyst on like Fox Network and stuff, for football shows and stuff. But to do this, to pander and all that stuff for Kamala, I lose respect for him, right? And it's just par for the course of softball interviews, Panderfest, and all that stuff. And then look at this beer bullshit here. So fake, right? If you guys don't know, look at this one. It's so fake. Contrived.
So this is happening now. You're looking at President Joe Biden. He is in line for early voting. Now remember, Joe Biden thought his name would be on the ticket. It's not. Vice President Kamala Harris's is. And remember, Saturday in Pittsburgh, he said, Kamala and I have a lot of work to do. Oh, wait, Kamala does. So we wonder if he's adjusting to the development that happened in July, that he is, in fact, not on the ticket as he goes to cast his vote, presumably, for his vice president, Kamala Harris. Quite a moment to watch.
It would be funny if he actually voted for Trump
When we move on to this, there are reports that there's a little bit of dissension in the Biden-Kamala Harris campaign. The Biden White House making stops, the Kamala Harris campaign totally in the blind, according to sources. And this was all in Axios. And setting us up with that big new breaking report is Jackie Heinrich, who is live in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where Vice President Harris is campaigning today. Jackie.
Let me skip to that.
Haley, President Biden reportedly wants to get out on the trail and help Harris in this final stretch. But the campaign keeps telling Biden, we'll get back to you, letting days that
put back into law by Congress.
Exhausted isn't working either, read another. Emails from Future Forward and, quote, attackers not
Maybe I should just let it play out, huh?
And yet, Harris is here in Michigan touting jobs that came out of investments under Biden, including the CHIPS Act and the Inflation Reduction Act. And the largest super PAC supporting her is warning she's got to shift her strategy away from attacking Trump's character. The New York Times obtained 2 emails from Future Forward and, quote, attacking Trump's fascism is not that persuasive, read one line in bold type in the email, which is known as a Doppler and sent on a regular basis. Trump is exhausted isn't working either, read another. But Harris does not seem eager to get into detailed policy discussions when she's pressed.
So you do support restrictions after viability?
I support Roe versus Wade being put back into law by Congress and to restore the fundamental right of women to make decisions about their own body. It is that basic.
But you know, there are restrictions. With Roe versus Wade, there were restrictions after viability.
We would not be debating this if Donald Trump had not hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade.
Once again, not a yes or a no there. Harris was caught on a hot mic yesterday talking to Governor Gretchen Whitmer. She appeared to acknowledge that she's not doing well with men.
Yeah. Oh, we have microphones and I was listening to everything. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay. So, well, you'll bleep my F words. We just told all the family secrets.
I think that was
We
fake.
have not seen a big shift in strategy. She's going to.
I think that's fake anyways. Anyhow, so yeah, you have that. You have the Shannon Sharp stuff here. I mean, well, you know, to me, she's a dumpster fire right now that's happening. And, you know, everything that they're trying to pull with Trump is tired and this is a Nazi this and Trump is Hitler and all this other crap. All right, it's just stupid. All right, think about it. It's stupid, and the stuff that she's proposing, even though she's not committing to anything, but she's proposed, it's all bad, and that's the bottom line. But anyhow, I just wanted to share that with you guys about the Madison Square Garden and how I thought the jokes were funny. And if you can't stand jokes, then man, I don't know how can you live life if you can't take jokes and laugh for a little bit? Because there was nothing that was, to me, direct at anything except Kamala, because she's terrible. But you gotta be open to just have jokes and stuff. And liberals and progressives are just too serious, right? In my profession, they always say, there's a line that people say, and it's like, it's not that serious, you know? And it's true, it's not that serious. It's like, shit. But you guys got to wake up, all right? Because if Kamala wins, we're in some serious trouble here. And I just don't see how she could win, just based on what she's done in the past, what she's done present, and what she's going to be doing in the future. It's all bad. So other than that, I just wanted to just let you guys know about that. Tune in for the next one. As always, we always got a lot to talk about here. And other than that, subscribe. Hit the bell icon that we can stay up to date on everything. And I'm all about it all. So, hey, if you got something to talk about, or you want to share with me something, or you got questions to ask, I'm an open book. We could talk about it. Share with me anything and everything you want, because that's what I'm all about. Other than that, I'll see you next one.